Welcome back. Now, Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has criticized the federal government's objection to the proposed use of arms by the Western Security Network, codenamed Amotekun. Now, let's get this straight. When he talks about arms, he's talking about sophisticated arms, because as we speak today, Amotekun is actually armed. Now, Governor Akeredolu says while the federal government allegedly allows its equivalent in Katsina State to bear arms, that's vigilante groups now to bear arms, it doesn't allow sophisticated arms now. It doesn't allow Amotekun to bear such sophisticated arms. The governor said this is following allegations that the federal government had approved sophisticated weapons for a similar security outfit operated by the Katsina State government. The governor bared his mind via his official Twitter handle and strongly criticized the federal government for playing double standards with the nation's security in a game he described as one country, two systems. Now, in the statement, Akeredolu wondered why Amotekun, a Southwest regional security outfit, could not bear sophisticated weapons despite continuous calls for such, but its counterpart in Katsina State, established to tame bandits and terrorists, are allegedly bearing AK-47s. Now, the governor has vowed to acquire weapons for the security network to protect the people, saying if the federal government cannot allow a security outfit, can actually allow a security outfit in Katsina State now to carry arms, then Amotekun should be granted the same right. While the federal government has continued to reiterate that security outfits set up by various state governments cannot bear firearms. Joining me on the program now to talk more about this is security expert and retired military officer, Colonel Hassan Stanlabo. Colonel, thank you very much for joining us on the program. Well, this is quite worrying. The allegation made by the governor, what do you make of that?
Thank you, DEJI, for having me once more. Going by the allegation made by the governor, I find it very worrisome, I must say. The federal government should make up its mind on what it wants. You cannot grant the use of arms to a similar body like Amotekun for the Katsina people or Katsina State. And meanwhile, you are denying Amotekun of similar gesture. Or we can't be running a country.
This is actually in the realm of allegation, because it's not. The governor said he saw a viral video, and of course that statement was informed by that viral video.
Yeah, I use the word allegation actually too, for same reason which you are just passing on now. And if that is true, it's rather unfortunate. And as a matter of fact, to me, I don't see why these organizations should not be allowed to bear arms.
But as we speak, they bear arms anyway. Amotekun actually bear arms, but not as sophisticated as AK-47.
I'm talking about
we know they carry
arms.
pump action rifle and all of that.
Yes, DG. I'm talking about automated arms. I'm talking about sophisticated arms. You know, the type with which they could confront insurgents with, you know, at par in terms of performance. So I think, like I was saying, all these organizations, Amotekun and so on, should be allowed to bear automatic weapons, mind you. A good number of them are even retired personnel. So running a small refresher training or course for them will not go beyond 1 or 2 or 3 weeks. I'm telling you the fact. A good number of them, because servicemen are all over the country, all rural areas and so on. So getting these guys to bear arms will not be a big deal, frankly speaking. And of course, it will be to our advantage as a nation, given all the deficits we suffer by virtue of manpower. You know, we all know what the JTF is doing up north, and so on. You know, they'll be able to fill up some gaps, both in terms of, rear area protection like we have up north, and so on and so forth. I think they should be allowed to bear
Okay,
arms.
you think allowing this vigilantes, because you know, to some extent we could say Amotekun is just like a high-grade vigilante now, allowing them to bear sophisticated arms, you think will make the difference?
Well, we know it all comes with its own, do I say, shortcomings, but the point is that we must agree that given the deficits we suffer, both in terms of manpower with our regular troops and police and so on, it would be part of the solution we have on ground. All we try to do is to see how much of oversight and supervision we can exert over them and ensure that whatever the damage or whatever the fallout that might come from issuing their weapons is not, you know, taken to an extent that is not manageable. But the point remains that it serves a purpose, getting them armed to do the job properly.
Now the reason I asked that question is because as we speak today, I have not seen any evidence, if you like, of, you know, Amotekun engaging, say, militants, for instance, or bandits, if you like, and they eventually get overpowered because they are not carrying sophisticated weapons. I mean, you look at the activities of the civilian JTF in the northeast of the country. They also carry a pump-action rifle. They don't bear sophisticated weapons, and somehow they're helping to make the difference in the northeast of the country. So why then should an organization like Amotekun and other vigilantes in this country be allowed to bear sophisticated weapons, AK-47?
Yeah, but Amotekun, you would agree, has been giving us some results too, even with their
yes, and that's my point. Because they're giving us results with what they have now, is it not better to stick with that?
Yes. No, Deji, I would rather subscribe to the idea of enhancing their performance in the field if we could enhance on their firepower. I think it will make them perform far better than what they are doing now. And besides, you and I are really quite, aware of the fact that the insurgents, since they bear automated weapons, definitely they could always overcome these guys when the chips are down.
Anyway, we'll just have to wait and see if the federal government will change its position, because the federal government has continued to maintain that these vigilantes are not allowed to bear arms, especially sophisticated arms. Colonel, I want to thank you very much for your time with us. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you so much, Deji. I do appreciate it.
I will take a short break and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the border area between Nigeria and Cameroon, and then the Sambisa Forest.
On DEJI360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
DEJI360, dissecting the issues.